So no pressure for our next storyteller, Julia Lechner. Give it up.
In 2012, after 38 years, New Jersey's Six Flags Great Adventure closed its Wild Safari feature to the public. But for the 38 years leading up to that, Jersey people like myself could get in your own Honda Civic and drive your way through the wild plains of Jackson Township, New Jersey. And New Jersey's Six Flags Great Adventure, their safari didn't have like raccoons, possums, things that eat trash. Jersey's kind of known for things that eat and thrive around trash. This safari had real life African animals like rhinos, elephants, giraffes. It was pretty cool. They closed it in 2012 after 38 years, but I only went once in the early 2000s, and I never returned again. I was a high school freshman, and a group of high school seniors invited myself and a few other freshman girls to go with them to Six Flags for the day. And it was shaping up to be a really big day, okay? They had a car. They had a Civic, and we were going to go to Six Flags, and our goal, the girls in the back seat, were just giggle, be cute, and have fun around all the senior boys. We were all theater kids, so we were talking about that year's production of South Pacific and just getting really excited for the day. So we get picked up in the morning, and we take the hour drive to get to Six Flags. And when you arrive, there's two choices you can make. You can go to the theme park or to the wild safari. And we decided we wanted to start our day at the safari because we wanted to see the animals when they were fresh and ready to see tourists like ourselves. So we pull up to the wild safari in our Civic, and there's these big wooden gates like you're entering Jurassic Park. And they almost open magically, it feels like Jurassic Park just before you. And you tune in your radio station to a local station that narrates your journey through the wild safari. So while we're driving, the radio station will say, "Look to your right, there's an elephant." And we look to our right, and there it is, an elephant, right there. Right next to our car. And there's fencing that goes around the wild safari, but there's no fencing between the road and the animals that you're driving by, and no real attendants or staff in sight anywhere within the interior of the wild safari. So we continue driving, and the narrator will say, "Look to your left, there's a giraffe." And we look, and there is. And it sticks its head in our moonroof to see if we have a tasty cake or a soft pretzel or something to give it, and we don't, so it keeps moseying along. And we're doing this for 1.5 miles. It's a pretty good size safari, and we're all chatting and flirting and giggling and be cute and have fun. And then we get to the end of the safari, and a choice. You can either leave and go to the theme park and go on the roller coasters, or you can go to the monkey exhibit, which is the grand finale of the wild safari. And all the high school students in the car are "We came to see everything, okay? We just drove past an elephant. So we got to do the monkey exhibit. That's the final part of the safari." But there's enter at your own risk signs everywhere as you get closer to the monkey exhibit. And I'm what's a monkey gonna do? We just drove past a hippo a minute ago. But just to be careful, we turn the mirrors in, we unscrew the antenna, we lock the doors, we roll up the windows, and we prepare to enter the monkey exhibit. Much less majestic than that earlier Jurassic Park feel. It quite frankly feels like you're entering a prison yard. It lacks the magic a little bit. And as you start to roll forward into the monkey exhibit, that radio station that's been narrating our journey just cuts out, silence. There's nothing. And we roll forward into the monkey exhibit. Now, instead of a 2-lane road, it's just single file line, way fewer cars than the rest of the safari. And we slowly roll forward in the lines of minivans and families in the monkey exhibit. And at first, I don't see any monkeys. I see what appears to be a barren field surrounded by a very tall fence topped with barbed wire. And I'm looking around to see where these monkeys could be. And I look around through the head of the cars, and then I'm looking at the field, and that's when I notice that the field isn't actually barren. I see hubcaps, windshield wipers, just pieces of bumper, twisted metal, and car. And that's when us high school students realize we've made a terrible mistake. And then that's when I catch my first glimpse of the monkeys, ahead in the line of vehicles. I look ahead to one of the minivans in the front of the line, and I see what appear to be a group of rabid baboons freaking out, tearing each car apart as they get to it in the line. And I look at the girls next to me in the back seat like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And Bill, the senior who seemed so cute and fun and mature earlier, just looks like a little boy now in the front seat looking around in his first car. And we realize the gates behind us have closed, we're in a single file line we can't get out of, and we have to wait for our turn for the monkeys to get to us. The radio station is silent. The girl next to me is praying. And I can't hear any of the families ahead of us, but as we look in the minivans ahead of us, we just see scared Jersey families and their shadows like flailing in terror as the monkeys get to their vehicles. And then the monkeys get to us, and they are so much louder than I would have expected. They are so angry. They're on the hood, they're on the trunk, they're on the top of the car, and they're taking their teeny tiny monkey hands and they're slapping the Civic as hard as they can. And I can tell they want to get into the car, and I don't know what they want to do once they get to us, but they are so angry. And I can tell that each car they get to, they're trying to take one trophy, one piece of car before they move on to the next vehicle. And they see we've turned in the mirrors, we've taken off the antenna, what will we take? So you know those little black nubs that are on the hood that like squirt out the windshield wiper fluid? The baboons take their tiny monkey teeth and then they bite those nubs out and they spit them out onto the field. And then the driver, Bill, yells, "That's it!" And he like hits the gas, and we can only go forward a few feet, but it's enough. And we just hear the shrieking monkeys as they're like holding on to the Civic, and they slide off the back and run to the minivan behind us, and inside we see another terrified Jersey family mutely flailing in terror. We drive out of the safari and we park at the theme park and assess the damage. The nubs are gone. Bill looks at them and says, "I don't even know what these are called. Like, what do you even ask for at Pep Boys?" And the car's just covered in these like teeny baby-sized shit-smeared handprints all over the car. And then we go in the theme park and we try to have fun. But the screaming is very different from the morning experience. And I learned something that day when I was in the back seat of that Civic. I learned that the monkeys are angry, they are organized, and they are looking for any opportunity to fuck each and every one of you up. My name is Julia Lechner. Thank you very much.